Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of News in Motion. Today is March 13th, 2024, and it is Wednesday Wisdom. We have Wednesday Wisdom today. We have Wednesday Wisdom. Try to say that 5 times fast. My goodness, that is a new tongue twister that has just been discovered here on Wednesday Wisdom. But it is March the 13th, 2024. If you are in Columbus, Ohio, it is going to be a warm day today. It's supposed to be a high of 70 degrees. Yesterday, it was a high of 63. So be sure to, dress properly, but, let's, dress accordingly as well. If we can be found on YouTube, LinkedIn, or any audio or podcast platforms. And if this is your first time tuning in with us, we just want to say thank you for tuning in. You can catch us live here at 7:25 a.m. or you can catch us on the replay, whether it be in the afternoon, the evening, or in the nighttime. Good morning to you, Dr. Kim Carter. Good morning, Regina Shorts. Good morning, Miss Adrian. Good morning, Heather Crabtree. Good morning to Miss Marianne Jackson as well. And good morning, Dr. Antoinette. If you all are ready for Wednesday Wisdom, be sure to grab a paper, grab a pen, invite one of your friends, tell them that you're tuning into News in Motion. And we'll be right back after this brief intro, y'all.
News in Motion.
I'm laughing at Isaiah. We can see each other in the green room, although we're in two different locations. And he was back there like jamming. He was all the way breaking it down. I was waiting for him to get up and do something else, but he was in there doing his thing. So good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I see you, Kim Edmondson, popping in here as well. Y'all, today is Wednesday, March the 13th, 2024. And I am your host, Gail Dudley. I'm so excited to see all of you. Hey, everyone, do me a favor. And Adrian already said it. Smash that like button. Smash that like button. Why? It helps with algorithm. So just smash the like button if y'all could do that. And if somebody else would just run over to Facebook on the News in Motion page and say, hey, y'all looking for us? We're over here, and put the link in there. That will be great. I see you Ulysses coming in here as well. Good morning to you. All right, y'all. Today is Wednesday, March 13th. It is Wednesday Wisdom. I like how that was a tongue twister for Isaiah. But we got some headline news first I think it's important to get to. First off, President Joe Biden and that former President Donald Trump have won enough delegates to secure their respective parties' presidential nomination. So they are the two nominees, Democratic Party, Republican Party. And let's not forget, there's still a independent party, a libertarian party, and a Green Party. And Dr. Cornel West is running on one of them. So he's in, he's out, he's in, he's out. Not sure what's happening there. Not for sure there's somebody who's been identified for the Green Party just yet, but we'll just stay tuned and see what's happening there. I see you, Yvonne Gardner. All right, y'all. The Republican committee, as I shared with you yesterday, fired. They said laid off. No, they fired them. 60 employees. They are now moving their operations to Florida. Yeah, that should be very concerning. That should be extremely concerning. Extremely concerning. All right, y'all. Hur's testimony kicked off yesterday, and it was interesting. And he was not giving Jim Jordan what Jim Jordan wanted, and Jim Jordan wanted to just go off. I'm like, be quiet. Just be quiet, dude. You should be in jail, probably for things you did in Ohio at the Ohio State University, but okay, you're still there. But anyway, I just had to tell y'all the truth real quick. But anyway, it was very interesting. Hur tried to backtrack or try to make something out of the whole memory piece, but the Democrats were firing back at him about that. And I don't even know if they should have brought him before the committee, but they did. What came out of it? Not much of anything, really. Things that we already knew. So, hey, we'll see if he comes back and see what's going on there. But y'all want to flip a little bit to Haiti. Now, we're real quick to send money to Ukraine, which I think is appropriate. And we're real quick to send money to when it comes to the Israel and Hamas war and really helping those in Gaza and other areas. And we should. But shouldn't we be sending money to Haiti? I'm just asking for a friend. I'm just asking for a friend. Put in the chat what your thoughts are on that as you're hitting that like button. But yeah, the Haitian Prime Minister Ariel Henry announced his resignation yesterday amid this country escalating gang violence. I don't know if y'all have been seeing it, but it is some serious gang violence. And they're vowing to dissolve his government once the transitional council is established. Well, there's like no one actually working in government because the people and the gangs have taken over. Even cruise lines and things like that, they're not even going to their private islands over there anymore because of the heightened gang violence that's taken place. So they're saying they don't know what's going to happen. AP reports that the unsponsored international security support mission is expected to assist Haiti in restoring order. Now, that's coming actually out of Kenya. So they have put together some people to come over, but they put everything on a delay, waiting to see what's going to happen. They're talking about 10,000 police officers in a country of 11 million. So this is happening, y'all. The U.S. said earlier this week that it would contribute 300 million to support the mission, but it's nowhere on any docket. Because I have the opportunity, and you do too, actually, y'all. I don't know how far you can get into it. But there's an opportunity to look and see what's on the floor, what's on the House, what's on the Senate floor, what bills are going forward, what's happening. And I don't see anything that says that we're trying to get 300 million because it would have to go through the House. Y'all remember the House has the power. The House has the power of the purse. So that's not even in there. So you just can't drop 300 million. It has to be voted upon. It's nowhere on the floor. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I want to hear your feedback. So please, y'all, use the chat. Talk to me this morning. Use the chat and share with me. What are your thoughts on the fact that we were quick to jump on Ukraine, as we should, and we were quick to jump on Israel and Hamas, really focusing on Gaza and the people there that are without, as we should. But what about Haiti? What about the Haitian people? What about the Haitian people? Marion says, absolutely, money should be sent to Haiti. I believe we should send money to Haiti. So, y'all, let's talk about Boeing for a moment. I didn't even talk about the whistleblower that was found dead in his truck the other day. But y'all, CNBC reports that Boeing delivers delays. Yeah, sure. Impacting growth plans for Southwest, Alaskan Airline, and United Airlines. So the latest MAX crisis is forcing, this is coming out of CNBC, forcing some of its biggest customers to rethink their growth plans this year. Well, it should probably be having some of the biggest customers who ride the planes rethink how we're going to fly places this year. Because I got a Southwest ticket the other day, going somewhere, and I was like, do I want to just hold on to this and find me another ticket? Because this doesn't look good. Yeah, this doesn't look good. Nope. Let me just break some of this down. And I know y'all going to take spring break and all that, but just be mindful. Just pray before you get on the plane. Boeing 737s, they were trimmed in 2024 capacity forecast. Now, Boeing's delivers previously expected year about 46 Boeing 737 MAX planes, down from 79. Okay, that's a little chop. Now, Boeing, they says, are needing to become a better company, and the deliveries will follow that. And this is coming from Southwest Airlines CEO Bob Jordan, said at a JP Morgan industry conference on Tuesday. And Alaskan Airlines said on Tuesday, we just gonna hold up because something wrong with the planes. Now, that was really the word that he used. He said, there's something wrong here. We just need to slow down. Y'all fix y'all's issue. You get some people on the line that's going to check everything, and then we'll put our order back in. I'm like, y'all saying way too much for people that's flying in the air right now. What's going on? So y'all, I started thinking, I said, so when you get on the plane, you're checking like, let me see what this door looks like. Let me see what the window looks like. Let me see if I can really sit here on this plane. I said, man, we can really go to trains and automobiles until y'all give this fixed. But y'all, this is huge. Even Boeing stock dropped tremendously yesterday. I mean, it was like on the bottom base. Y'all, the CPI report came out yesterday. And as y'all can see, it must be a good report because the boards were green yesterday. I said, okay, we doing something around here. So y'all just think about it, be prayerful when you're getting on planes and things like that until this comes under control. But then here's my question to you all this morning. Before we get to the wisdom part, we're still in the headlines. Here's my question this morning. And I say this all the time. Let me back up and say this. I say this all the time, even with the whole boom of Amazon and the mom and pop shops are closing and things like that. And everybody's doing everything online for the most part. I always say, be mindful, be careful of having one big company, because what happens when this company starts falling apart? Same with EVs. It was Tesla, Elon Musk. And all of a sudden, Tesla's in trouble. Elon Musk is in trouble. And even their chargers, I have an EV, I don't mind telling you that. Even their chargers is all coming from Tesla, and how all of those things are connected, and how Tesla is with Myers and a partnership with Meyer, and how Tesla's in a partnership with Starbucks. Volvo's in a partnership with Starbucks too, because the things that are charging these cars, the superchargers, are all coming from Elon Musk. So when they get so big, what happens to that? And who do you turn to? So when Boeing's, the airplane, the planes that we all fly, if they're the only company, who else do we go to? Who else is out there? But that's what happens when you're building a monopoly. I just want y'all to think about that. Just think about that. And, I know a little something. I'm trying to learn and grow and understand. And I'm always feeding myself these educational pieces, and I'm digging deep. We just can't read the surface. We have to go deep. When I go deep, I come back with these questions. Good morning, my brother. Good morning, my brother. Kim Edmondson says Boeing needs to get their life right. They need to do something, because it's out there and we have to pay attention. All right, y'all. The House is supposed to vote today on the bill banning TikTok. 170 million U.S. users. Now, unless the Chinese-based owner, y'all heard me talk about one of their significant billionaire investors who owns the majority of this yesterday, hanging out with Donald Trump last weekend, ByteDance, they're saying they want ByteDance to divest within 165 days. If not, it's going to be banned. Okay. Now, intense lobbying has taken place. Listen, it was on and popping on Capitol Hill on yesterday. It was on and popping. These lobbyists were out there making deals. You also had the whip. So let's just bring in the workshop a little bit. You also had the whip going around, whipping up votes, either for or for against. You had the Democrats whipping up votes. You had the Republican whipping up votes. They were whipping up votes. They're trying to get the votes to see how this is going to turn out tomorrow. But there was a little snag. Y'all heard me talk about it yesterday. There was a little snag because the former guy, Buttercup, he wrote an executive order. It was the judge who halted the executive order. Y'all know what y'all need. Y'all need to know how this rolls out. The judge halted the executive order in September. Trump signed an executive order in August. So he signed it. The judge halted within hours of TikTok being shut down. Well, he needs some money because he's in a whole lot of trouble. And I'm starting to wonder, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm starting to wonder, did the billionaire help him pay his $91 million? And then, by the way, do y'all know he defamed Jean Carroll again? I was like, dude, will you shut up? You don't have any money now. Will you please be quiet? But now he did a flip because, again, we're for sale. And so now they're running around, the Republicans are running around the House trying to figure out which way we voting now. That's what you get for hanging out with somebody who's going to keep jerking your chain. So y'all need to watch that. So this lobbying went underway yesterday, both sides, bipartisan, all this is happening. We got 165 days. The vote's going to happen today, whichever way it's going to go. If it's passed, it'll be signed by President Biden, which is also funny because he just got on TikTok. let's be fair and balanced. Dude, you just got on TikTok about 3 weeks ago. Now all of a sudden you want to get off. He got on the night of the Super Bowl. So whenever that was, that's how long he's been on TikTok. Now you're talking about you want to get off TikTok? What is it? What is it? What is it? Yes, Kim. Yes, Latrice Jones. Yes, the buttercup is a flip-flopper. But anyway, but even Joe Biden's jumped on TikTok. You should have never jumped on TikTok. Who are your handlers? If you knew you wanted to ban it, why did you get on it? Because it doesn't look good for you either, dude. It doesn't look good for you. So the division within the Republican Party, y'all, over banning it has erupted. Like, it has gone buck wild yesterday. Y'all, about the 11th hour following the dude who did the flip-flop, they're like, you just championed the bill that we signed when you were in office, and the judge halted it. We were putting your policy, your ban back out there, and then you flipped on us because you need some money. I told y'all Steve Bannon threw him under the bus this weekend too. Steve Bannon came out again yesterday and point blank called him a grifter. I was like, well, what's going on here? What is happening? Something's happening. Well, y'all, one of the people that had enough, and his name is Ken Buck, Republican of Colorado, District 4. He's like, I'm out. He ain't wait. He said he's not waiting until November the 5th. No. He's like, I'm out. He is out next week. He said, I'm out. My resignation is being issued immediately. I'm not hanging around with y'all because y'all cray. He didn't say that. But when he was talking to reporters, you could feel his anger. Now, that's going to really chop down any type of majority that the Republicans have in the House. Y'all pay attention to what is going on. So the Hill reports that Representative Ken Buck will retire from Congress next week. He said yesterday, the interview, just Google the interview. I want y'all to Google the interview of Ken Buck retirement. And you will see his face, you will see his anger, you will see his concern. And Liz Cheney came out behind that and said, pay very attention to all of his mannerisms, the words that he said. She is still sounding the alarm. Y'all need to be concerned. We, the American people, need to be concerned. So, and this announcement came out of nowhere. His family didn't know he was about to make that announcement. So something happened, y'all. Something happened. So it's getting ready to be on and popping, y'all. He has broke from his party many times with various issues, criticizing Republicans on election denialism. He was like, no, he lost. And they wanted to shut him down. They wanted to silence him. But because they are in the majority, they thought it didn't look good to silence him. But he kept speaking. Latrice Jones says, it's bad when folks just resign out of nowhere. Heather said, distractions, chaos, and confusion. Good morning, Shirley Nicholson. Listen, Kim, really? I was like, what is happening? So he's like, I'm out. And they said, well, you going to vote for this week? He said, I am out. I'll finish out this week, but I'm out. He's gone, y'all. He's gone. So, y'all, with all of that that's rising, I ain't even gotten to the main thing today. With all of that's rising, y'all, listen to what happened in Florida. I'm like, man, this has been a week that is just crazy. So, y'all know the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida schools? Well, there is now an out-of-court settlement that happened where Florida teachers and students can now talk about gender identity and sexual orientation in the classroom as long as it's not a part of the official school curriculum. So there were some people who filed a suit, some teachers, some students, some physicians, so forth and so on, counselors, and they went up against the Florida school system and Ron DeSantis. So after the Don't Say Gay first law took effect, many schools pulled books with LGBTQ plus themes from libraries. Teachers weren't sure if they could reference them. They didn't know how they were going to deal with them. So a suit was put before the courts. Now, both sides of the settlements are claiming victory. Y'all, I saw Ron DeSantis yesterday. I was like, dude, you lost the presidential primary. You had to suspend your campaign. You and Disney still got challenges. You can't win. You didn't win here. You need to take a seat. I gotta find a name for him. You need to take a seat. You gotta take, he can't have Buttercup because Buttercup is already given. You gotta take a seat. You did not win this. You lost. You lost. You lost this battle. Now, while they still can't make it a curriculum, students can bring it up and the teachers can have interaction. The question becomes, number one, when will the appeal come? Because y'all know the appeal is coming. When will somebody file the appeal, or when will somebody from the other side file a lawsuit to take it back to court that's going to shut it back down again? So keep paying attention to that. And it's very important as we're going into our season of voting. Y'all, next week, if you haven't early voted in Ohio, I'm in Ohio, that's why I'm bringing that out. It is March the 19th. No, I have not voted yet, and I have not voted because where I have to go vote to early vote, it ain't too good. So I actually went yesterday, right? Because it was a beautiful day. It was sun shining. Let me go and vote. Well, I saw more and more crazy signs going that direction. I was like, no, I'll wait. So I'm going to just have to vote on Tuesday. But anyway, that's out there. So make sure you're voting. I share all these headline news with all of you to share and say, this is what's happening. Those of you in the 4th District of Colorado, you should be asking a question. Why did Kim Buck just resign out of nowhere? What was that about? I'm not saying it's a scandal. He looked as if he was just depleted. Like, we can't even govern. We can't do anything right now because there's one person that's controlling this. For all of you Republicans that are out there, y'all know I split tickets all the time, but for all of you Republicans that are out there, you should be raising a question. Why is the Trump family running the RNC? That's not fair and balanced at all. Why are they running the RNC? Why did they fire 60 employees and hired family and friends to fill those 60 positions? Why? And why are they moving the headquarters to Florida? You should want to have answers to those questions. You want to have answers to those questions. And that's not being party politics. That's, I want to have an understanding as to why this is happening, y'all. That's wisdom. That's wisdom. All right, so that's everything that's going on, and we got to pay attention. But now I want to turn to what's actually happening. So you may want to grab your pencil and pens, because we're going to pencil and pen, because we're going to break down some of this. I'm going to talk about the ARP, which is the American Rescue Plan that's coming out of the Biden administration. Let me just tell you the progress that's happening, and this is the progress that I have been able to fact check. We're going to do part 2 tomorrow for what we call our Town Hall Thursday. But 3 years ago, job growth was uneven and uncertain. 3 years ago. Marion says, definitely not fair and balanced, but could it be illegal? That's a great question. I don't know their rules, and maybe we should look at their rules for the RNC, and that's a regime. That's true. So job growth was uneven and uncertain. Today, nearly 15 jobs have been added under this administration. But hold on, I got to break that down, because that is true. But I need to give y'all a breakdown of that as well. 3 years ago, 6.4% unemployment rate. Today, unemployment below 4% for 25 months straight. That's absolutely the truth. And I think they even are on the conservative side. I think it's more. 3 years ago, small businesses were struggling. That is true. Today, record 16 million new small business applications. The key there is applications, but then I'm going to break down how many are actually out there. 3 years ago, 3 million American families were fully vaccinated. Today, 230 million Americans are fully vaccinated. And that is also true. That is also true. So let me give you some of this. And this whole document will be in Friday Rundown. If you have not subscribe to Friday Rundown, it is free. You can go to www.gaildudley.com to sign up. When you get to the website, a pop-up box will come up. You just put in your name and your email address. And that's for the Friday Rundown. Every now and then we'll send you something extra, but it's the Friday Rundown. For those of you in the chat that received the Friday Rundown, let people know what you're actually getting. You're getting some serious free content on a regular basis, So let's break this down. Again, this will be part 1 today and part 2 tomorrow with the time that we have. And feel free to jump in and ask any questions as we're going along. All right, y'all. Under the American Rescue Plan, and I'm calling it the ARP, this has been 3 years in the making, and they have been jamming. Heather says Friday Rundown is so helpful. I'm glad you find it helpful. All right, y'all. It has led to the strongest job recovery on record, and the strongest recovery in the world. Yes and no. Again, I'm going to be fair and balanced here, okay? Now, unemployment was at 6.4% under President Biden. When President Biden took office, unemployment was not projected to drop below 4% until the end of 2025. And that's the truth out of the CBO February 2021 forecast. That is the truth. What's up, Crystal? Instead, unemployment was below 4% for the past 25 months in a row, the strongest record in more than 5 decades. Now, it is the strongest record, but you cannot ignore the positions that were downsized or laid off during COVID and then came back. So there's a recovery there. Now, can he claim credit for that? Well, the administration can claim credit for that, but I still believe you need to hear the entire picture. So some of those jobs were recovered from the onset of the COVID pandemic. So that's just being truthful. And I want us to be fair and balanced. I'm calling it the ARP for short, drove historic 3-year job growth with 15 million jobs added since President Biden took office. Again, that number is correct, but you cannot discount the recovery from the COVID jobs that were laid off. Now, when I share that, I'm only talking about maybe I came up with 1.3%. So that's still low, but we cannot neglect the fact that some of that is the recovery of jobs. Then this is the other area where I want to amend what they said. They have here that historic drop in unemployment for Black and Latino workers. Well, I wouldn't say historic, but I would say close, because I don't think it's historic, because there were a lot of drops in unemployment for Black and Latinos under Bill Clinton, as well as under Barack Obama. So we need to be fair with that. Yes, you also have to consider the level of jobs. That's all a part of it. Now, there's so many job openings right now in the customer service sector, because I looked at that as well. So thank you, Kim, for bringing that up. I looked at that as well, where people are maybe going to work one day, decide, no, I don't want to flip hamburgers, and they're leaving. So those jobs still become available, and they're counting those jobs as the decrease in unemployment. I see the connection there. Like yesterday, the CPI report came out, and we're looking at the inflation, and it went up just slightly, but they still say it's healthy. All of that has to be factored in. So listen, y'all, when I share this on News in Motion, I don't know if anybody else is sharing this on their news show or not, and that's not a slam or anything like that. But when we're out here talking about getting people registered to vote, we need to look at the entire picture so that we're delivering news that will help people make an educated decision beyond personality when we're speaking of presidential elections, representatives, senators, so forth and so on, governors, mayors, all of that come into play. And I'm going to get to that in a moment, so hold on. But we have to look at the entire picture. We just can't say there's a great yay for everything. Unemployment is so low and everybody can get a job. That's not true. Or we can't flip it and say, I can't get a job. They're talking about there's all these jobs. Well, do you have the skills to do that job? Hold on, I'm gonna get there too. So it led to a dramatic reduction in inequality. Now there's some truth to that. Lowest women's annual unemployment rate since 1953 is true, but those positions are still underpaid. And so I want the administration, and this is where we come in to talk to our representatives and so forth, to say, look, this is great, but at the same time, women are still underpaid. Didn't we just have the equal pay right thing yesterday? So we cannot ignore that women are still underpaid, but women, I'm gonna just say it, y'all. Y'all can get mad at me if you want to, but women are running the households. Okay, in many cases, not all, don't want to generalize, but that's what's happening. But do they have the pay to support their children, their households, transportation, whatever's needed for schooling, whatever's needed for extracurricular activities and so forth? Myself, Kim Edmondson, and Hester Jackson are going to be working on something, so stay tuned for that as well. Now, the strong recovery for Asian Americans, Pacific Islanders, and Native Hawaiians community. Unemployment fell by half from 9% average in 2020 to 4% in 2022 and 2023. That is absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct. Led to the largest federal investment in preventing crime, reducing violence, and investing in public safety in history. And I'm going to read the other one before I get there. Over $15 billion in ARP funds committed to preventing crime and reducing violence. So I want to get to other local officials. In saying that, okay, I see the drop in that when I look at everything, but y'all, here's the truth. And this is why we need to go to town hall meetings. And I'll go back and say this again, what I said yesterday. For those of you who want to disrupt town hall meetings because you have an agenda, go ahead and disrupt, go ahead and protest, but then be quiet so you can hear the answers. Because those of us who want to go to town hall meetings, we have questions too, we want to hear answers to as well. And that is, when we're talking about reduction of crime, now over 15 billion went into this, okay? But we still need to see Congress, and we still need to see our representatives, local representatives, we still need to see our governors and our mayors tapping into this money and utilizing it, and to show us in their budget how this money is being spent. Because it looks as if on the local level in many states, and this is some of the confusion, in many states of this isn't happening, I'm not getting it, I'm not seeing this trickle down effect here. Well, it's because and he said it in his speech last Thursday, he's sending the money, but y'all not using it because y'all don't want him to get the credit. But you're messing up your people by doing that. Those are your constituents. Your constituents are saying we want an end to gun violence. We want to see a decrease in violence. We want to see crime to be decreased. You have this. You have a part of this $15 billion. That's billion with a B. But you're not using it because you're going against the person that's in the office. Y'all, that needs to stop. That's where we need to see bipartisanship. And y'all let me know in the chat if y'all agree with me or disagree with me, because I want to hear. Now, there's $1.2 billion for Medicaid mobile crisis intervention services. Okay, but why aren't we seeing it in the Medicaid recipients? And this money is out there. It is. So in this is the blue government. Let's talk about colors now. This is blue. Democrats are blue. So we have a blue government, blue administration, excuse me. But for all the states that have red government, red governors, they're not allowing this money to get in to make a difference. Why? Because they run off of this when they're running for re-election. That needs to stop. Seriously. So before you get mad at what somebody isn't doing, start looking at your local level to see, well, did you get the money? Because from the records, you did get the money. So where is it and why aren't you doing anything with it? Talk to me in the chat. Y'all need to know y'all still there. It also includes $1 billion in family violence prevention and services programs. Okay, where's the programs? And why aren't we hearing about them? How much red tape is out there around these programs? So y'all, these things are being, so here's some of the sound bites and the talking heads that we hear out there. But the truth is, y'all, this is happening out there. It is, but the money is stuck. So in the townships, what are you doing with the money? In local government, what are you doing with the money? How are you dispensing this money? How many people applied for grants or for submitted proposals and you didn't fund them? You didn't fund their grant requests, or you decreased it, or it was too heavy on operations and not enough in programs? These are things we need to be talking about, especially going into the November election. Regina Short says jobs with low wages lack benefits and keep people in poverty. Yep, that's what Kim Edmondson, myself, and Heather Hester are going to talk about. They are supposed to work for we the people, so they need to earn our votes instead of self-interest. Absolutely. Crystal says, so it's self-serving instead of serving the people that they claim to serve. Wow, yeah. And Heather says, our police chief was put on paid administration leave. They have a levy on the ballot for 0.4% levy on income for maintaining the safety forces. Wow. Questions we have to work through. American Rescue Plan's expansion of the Affordable Care Act led to record-breaking healthcare enrollment and savings. That's absolutely correct. That's what the Affordable Care Act is doing. And honestly, they should keep that in the forefront to everything they're doing. They should keep that one in the forefront. Here's another one. Provided more than $3 billion in Medicaid funding to North Carolina, Missouri, Oklahoma, and South Dakota for Medicaid expansion recovery over 1 million people. Well, here's my question. What about the other states? So you afforded it to them, you granted it to them, but what about the other states in need? What's happening when it comes to Medicaid there? Largest business boom in history due to the American Rescue Plan, driven strong recovery in small business investments. Yeah, it's true, but resources are still needed. People are saying, my launch, my start, how do I get this money? I've submitted proposals and so forth, but I'm not getting anything in return. Where's that money? Where's that money? Reform the PPP to more equitable, distribute funds to smallest businesses. There's a lot of information. I've looked many places where people are still asking, where's the money? How do I get the money? Well, here's something that I want to share when I was digging into this. You have to go to your SBA office. And go armed. Again, this is going to be in the Friday rundown. Go armed with this and say, well, y'all received this many billion. So can you tell me why I can't get any of that? Like, where is it? Yes, Latrice Jones, show me the money. Show me the money, y'all. Show me the money. I don't want to keep going because there's so much more in here. And again, we're going to have a part 2 tomorrow where I'm going to do nothing but this. Unless something is some serious breaking news, I'm going to really continue to work through this because, y'all, this is what we need to know, what's actually happening currently with this administration, but also to formalize and have some questions. When you get the Friday rundown, you will also get the chart. This chart is deep. You really want to read this chart. So let me say this. Everyone should want to read this if you are a registered voter. Even if you're not a registered voter, you want to read this because I believe you'll become a registered voter after you've read this. This information alone will not only tell you a lot, but it will also give you a foundation and communication keys to speak with your representatives, to raise questions in town hall meetings. This right here, going through all of this, I was like, yep, that's true. Yep, I fact-checked that. Yep, I fact-checked this, so forth and so on. I'm like, well, where's this money? And who's actually getting their hands on this money? And what do we need to do? So it's not the administration did their part. It's the local government and the local institutions and so forth. You going to release the money? Like, what are your ramifications? Because I even looked at what's needed in a proposal. I got really into, because I'm a business owner and I wanted to know. So I'm asking questions. Okay, if you're telling me, and I'm going here, powering a strong, diverse, small business boom. That's on this chart. Okay. It says before the American Rescue Plan, small businesses were struggling. Hundreds of thousands of small businesses permanently closed their doors in 2020. That's a fact, y'all. We fact checked that. Now, on today's side, A record 16 million new small businesses business applications over the past 3 years. Okay, there was application. Pay attention to that. That was application. 56% higher small business formation in 2023. So out of 16 million, you're talking 56% of those now are in operation. And share of Black households owning a business has more than doubled. Well, then I wanted to find out doubled from what percentage point. So I looked, and we're talking 9%. Okay, so 9% of that doubled. Okay, but if they're closing again, why are they closing? And where's the money to do that? So I went looking. That's what I do. I go look. I went looking to research to get an understanding. Where's this money? Well, there's so much red tape around the money that people are saying, forget it. When, if you look at the administration application, it's not that difficult at all. So how do we hold accountable our local people to say, change your application process for local, because that doesn't mirror what's happening in the administration. This is why we need to read all this. And it's there. It will be in the Friday rundown. We'll do part 2 on tomorrow. Inspirational message, and we're out of here. And I would love to hear y'all's thoughts. Y'all know y'all can email me from anything, any questions you have. You can email me now. If you're gonna say, can you send me that? I'm gonna come back and say it's gonna be in the Friday rundown. So make sure you sign up for the Friday rundown. But you can email me. The email is going across the ticker right now. newsinmotionwithgail@gmail.com. Y'all give a shout out to Isaiah. He be on it in that background. So newsinmotionwithgail at newsinmotionwithgail@gmail.com. You can get Latrice Jones said, Gail, I went looking. Y'all know I go looking for, I am nosy. Okay. I'm gonna just own it. I hear something. Latrice posted up. Translation, Gail is not, I am straight nosy. You know that. You know that. Because I want to know. And not only do I want to know, once I find out, I want to come share with all of you. Y'all are like my family. So I want to share with all of you. And I have questions. If this is happening, and it is, y'all, I fact checked all of this. There is 10 pages, 12 pages, maybe a little bit more. I fact checked all of this. I went one by one. And I didn't just go to one source. I was backing it up with all these different sources. And I said, oh, okay. Yep, this is true. This is true. Yeah, this is true. But y'all kind of like spun this a little bit. And I told y'all, well, that's you. It's not historic, but it's close. You want to use the word historic, okay, but that ain't really the right word you need to be using. But that's how we look at these things. All right, y'all, inspirational message. We shall live and not die. We will win. We are victorious. And I want us to all hold on to that in this season. How our success, how we can press through, how we may have disappointing days or moments, but we can keep going. Thank you, Kim Carter. Kim Carter said, go, Isaiah. You're truly appreciated. Y'all, yeah, love on that young man. Love on that young man. But y'all, that's what we do. So when we're voting, we're winning. When we're voting, even if our vote does not come out to be the winner, we're still winning because we did go out. We exercised our right to vote. When we're looking into things, when we're helping people with different programs and giving them things, like, y'all, it's nothing for me. And, some people charge for this. I don't. And I don't think people should do it, especially in our community. Let's help people. But people, Kim Edmondson said, amen, I've got the victory. You have the victory. But y'all, I'll come across something, and y'all get it. Those of you who we've now have established a relationship, or we've had one previously, whether it's through an email or an inbox message, because we keep the chat, we can see the chat. If there's something that I see and I'm reading something, and a person will pop in my mind, and I'll send it to someone. I've done that several times this past weekend. Kim Edmondson was like, girl, you didn't tell me I was going to cry. Well, there was something that popped up immediately. Kim Edmondson, immediately. Hester Jackson, immediately. I sent it. All right, y'all, we got to do something around this. Other people, hey, this seems like this is in your wheelhouse. I'm sending it because I believe that that's you shall live, you shall win, you are successful, you have the victory, you have those things. And here from News in Motion, we're about empowering people. We're about giving you these resources. Y'all better read the Friday rundown. Seriously, you get so much. Somebody who would give what you find in the Friday rundown, somebody would charge you easily $1,000. Easily. And yes, I said it. easily $1,000, easily. Because the labor, the time, the thought, the research, the documents that we're uploading, it's not just a cut and paste. We're actually putting all these things together. We're getting permission. We get permission signed up. I get permission to share these things. We get permission to share them so that you can have them. Not just the brief or the summary. You get the whole thing. And it's up to you if you decide to read it or not. But that's what we do. We want to empower you. So y'all, in this season, as we're rounding out Lent, Easter Sunday is coming. I think that is March the 30th. Easter Sunday is coming. March 31st. Easter Sunday is coming. But we're here to empower you. We're here to give you the resources to cheer you on in this season. All right, y'all, that's all I have for today. Tomorrow we'll do part 2. It's only going to be this. I'm not giving any headline news unless there's some breaking news that I think you should see. If not, it's all this, because we got to get through all these pages. You'll get it so that you can read it and pull out what's important. I'm giving you more details from the research I did. So this will be in the Friday rundown, but tomorrow we'll do part 2. All right, y'all, stay well. And remember, make some bold moves. We're out.
Inspirational.